Hi everyone, it's Fitz with your daily delivery. I hope you're doing well. I am great, although I'm recovering from a very serious breathe right strip injury. I'm okay. I didn't go to the hospital, but I can't stop it from bleeding, so I'm walking around with a band-aid on my nose like a total dork. But I am one, so that's cool. And today I got a cool story for you. And if you watched Kansas State's game against LSU on Thursday night, or you attended the game, you saw a video recapping the recovery of part of a historic banner at Kansas State, and I was glad to play a small part in it, although K-Stater Bobby Sloan did the heavy lifting. And I'm going to tell you the story of that in just a second after I remind you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel, continue to help us grow as we near 15K. If you're not subscribing, please do so. It helps us a ton. So in 1968, there was a banner hanging in Ahearn Field House. It said, "Every Man A Wildcat." It was hand painted on canvas or cloth, and at one end was a square with the version of Willie Wildcat that existed in the late 60s. And we don't see that one very much. In fact, students were given t-shirts, their early arrivers, on Thursday with that version of Willie on it. It's cool. It's really old, and it's really neat thinking about it being from, 50, 60 years ago. And of course, the main part of the banner was that "Every Man A Wildcat" type. And then there was something else at the other end. And in the early 70s, it just disappeared. Well, we now know where it's been, as that was solved about a year ago. But I want to recount what that banner means at Kansas State. Not only did it lord over Ahearn Field House for a while, where so many great basketball teams played, and the history of K-State basketball was rich inside that building, but it also was the backdrop to the final speech given by the great Martin Luther King Jr. It was his final campus speech before his assassination. It really is an important part of this school's history, not just for sports. Last December, exactly 11 months from when I'm recording this video, I did another daily delivery on a prominent Lawrence member of society unveiling that he had that corner. And it's been in his basement for nearly 60 years, 50 plus years. And he eventually realized him trying to sell on the internet a piece of stolen merchandise wasn't really the best look, and he surrendered it to Bobby Sloan, who did the hard work in recovering it. Much appreciated, sir. The K-State Nation does appreciate your efforts. It's home, and it's back in Bramlage Coliseum, or in Bramlage Coliseum, and I'm hoping that the writing that's above the suites or the loge boxes on that east side will eventually replicate that "Every Man A Wildcat" phrase, because it's important to K-State history. It's who the alumni are. If you've gone to school here, you're part of it. You're part of EMAW. And having that piece of the banner back is pretty damn cool. Now, K-State opted, and I agree, to not mention who did this and that it was KU baseball players. But I'm going to say something that I said in my interview as part of that video that they cut. I don't blame them for cutting it at all. I think it's an incredible prank. Now, maybe it went too far with cutting it up and parsing it out. Maybe they should have tried to keep it whole and return it at some point, but that's what happened. And now it's home. And I hope people kind of remember now what that means to Kansas State and embraces that version of Willie, because honestly, I had never really seen it much until this story came around. It's there, but we just don't use it very often. "Every Man A Wildcat" is an important phrase, but that piece of the banner is an important piece of history for K-State athletics and the administration, the entire university. Martin Luther King stood in front of it and spoke of how we can make this a better world. And he paid dearly for it. I'm glad it's home, and I'm really honored that I could be a part of its recovery.